Good afternoon, dear partners. I'm extremely happy to have the opportunity to speak with you this. Well, for me, it's the afternoon. From some of you that are out west, it might still be the morning. So I'd like to present myself. I'm Steve Noel, the VP of Microsoft Sales and Enablement. It's a subject I don't talk about too often. Renewals. It's a very salesy conversation, but I think that it's a conversation that we need to have with our customers at least once a year when it's time to renewal. There's many reasons to have this conversation. Um, First and foremost, most of the customers in the SMB market, will renew automatically, right? And most of our partners will do the same. I think that the that time of year we need to set aside to actually have a conversation with our customers. There's plenty of reasons to discuss, what we're looking, what is the engagement like. And I think that this time of year, when we're actually going to renew the licenses, in most cases, it's going to be renewed for a year, to better understand the customer's needs. I think that there's an opportunity and time to say, hey, dear Mr. and Mrs. Customer, would like to sit down, talk about your licenses renewal, and see how we can, you know, um, how can we, better? How can we, manage this? How we can look into it, optimize. That's the word I was looking for. So this is it. This is how to have a conversation. The resources that are available. This is the first of three webinars we're going to be giving on the subject with different subjects, but on how to hold the actual conversations with our customers. So very important. The renewals, the way that NC was introduced a few years ago, and I know that most partners are, I faced the blunt of working with the NCE prior to NCE. For the people maybe in this call that don't know what it was, well, prior to NCE, you didn't really have to have a contract with your customers, right? So you could cancel, add licenses, remove licenses at any time. And a few years ago, Microsoft decided to delight us with the opportunity of having renewal time. So I'm being a little sarcastic here, but that being said, it really changed the business. So because they made these changes at a very specific time in the year, 45% of the renewals actually at every customer and every Microsoft customer actually happened within the 3 months of January, February, and March. And I think a whole lot more actually happened towards June, towards the end of June, because there is also some big promos at the time and some changes. So I think it's very strategic to actually have the conversation with customers and plan on having a conversation. And the reason is very simple. Because there's such a high rate of renewals at this time, what's going to happen is that your customer is susceptible of being approached and poached by another partner. Very easy because they've essentially have a 1 in 2 chance, and maybe even higher than that, to grabbing the licenses right away, because you can actually make the switch. So it's important for you as a partner of record, an advisor, to actually have that conversation before the competition starts talking to your customers. Number two, the second thing I'd like to talk about is the annual monthly price increase. If you haven't noticed, or you didn't have the opportunity to hear about that, Microsoft is going to be increasing the annual monthly price by 5%. What does that mean? It essentially means that if you're on an annual term and you're paying monthly, you're going to pay a little more for them to give you that facility. If you're on annual, which is essentially paying upfront, or a monthly, the prices that you have right now do not change. It's really for the annual monthly. And we're going to talk about different go-to-market strategies and how to actually build a winning formula so that we not only renew the business that we already have, but we also upsell. So as I was saying before, 45% of the renewals happen between January and March. If you take January to June, I think you can move that number up to a whole lot more than 45%, which is the lion's share of the customers that we have together, or mutual customers with Microsoft. Um, Upsell conversations can take up to 90 days to plan and execute. If you've got a plan in place and you reach out, you're looking at the specific customers, your sales team understands what they need to do, well, up to 90 days to actually make sure that we're either planning, upfront, and then mobilizing, making sure, getting ready, having a conversation with customers, and then winning the deals. And that's a saying that I say all the time, and it says it's up to 7 times cheaper to retain a current customer than to acquire a new one. From my knowledge and from what I've learned from business, it's 10 times. So I guess now with the tools that they have, it's actually a little easier to actually get a new customer. That being said, I'm digressing here. It's extremely important that you act now and you start, entertaining that discussion or planning on having that discussion with customers. So, two things you really need to focus on is whenever possible, upsell. Look at upgrading products. Business, business basic to business standard, or business basic to business premium, even better. Understanding your customers needs and making sure that you start having that conversations sooner than later. And number two, you want to look at make sure that your customers renew on time, right? So you want to have that conversation um, for sooner than later. And the reason is very simple. You don't want anybody to be in your customer's ear and start talking about how they can lower the price and give them a better deal than the price that you're selling these licenses at. Just want to let you guys or let everybody know that it's very important to understand that this happens all the time. We are a distributor and we see customers leaving other partners to get to newer partners that actually take care of the renewal process and use this time to actually prospect and get new customers. This is the time of year that customers shift. So we have to take that extremely seriously. So, four things, that we consider as opportunities. Um, Obviously, renewing and maintaining the seats that we already have, and avoiding churn. So we don't want to lose customers. Great time to start talking about productivity, and attaching Microsoft 365 Copilot is a great way to actually catch and gather the customer's interest, because there's a lot of talk right now on AI, right? Talking about GPT, talking about DeepSeek, talking about Gemini, talking about Copilot, which Copilot is the answer to all these technologies from Microsoft that's fully integrated in your suite of products. Just this morning, I was talking with another partner, and a customer, big customer, wanted to start, working with Copilot and understanding how they can leverage that. And there's huge opportunities out there. Um, Towards the end of the month, last month, or I guess it was last week, two really nice deals in the SMB market where one customer bought 55 licenses, another one bought 63 licenses. So people do believe that Copilot will help you be more productive. And especially when we're getting all these talks and we're in a certain, I guess, space right now, especially when you think about this geopolitical and this political climates with tariffs and everything. And sometimes I hear these commentators, political commentator, talking about our reliance on the United States and the fact that we're not necessarily super productive as Canadians. And some of the reasons why they were these you know these people talking on the radios, these journalists and all these people saying, they were saying that we don't leverage technology as much as our American counterparts. So that's one of the reasons why we're not as productive. And I don't think that people are lazier. I don't think that it's not because we don't work as many hours. I think that we're just not using the tools as we should, and we don't have a high adoption with that. So it's very important that you have these conversations with your customers on attaching a Microsoft Copilot licenses. And what I like to say about Copilot, don't talk about it, be about it, show it, display the and demo all the great things you can do with this product. Upselling the business premium, obviously, if you're going to optimize your customers and they're going to go to Copilot, you want to start selling them with premium licenses so that you can leverage security management and data governance and do all these things. And if they're not ready yet, but still move them and get them Copilot ready with the appropriate prerequisite licenses to be able to do so. So, what do you want to do in the next 90 days as you are entertaining these, uh, you know, this motion, right? So you want to start with planning and prioritizing, right? You want to start looking at your customer base, which are the customers that you're going to be pitching to, in priority, and some of the tools that you can leverage. You can use Lighthouse or Sales Advisor. You can train your salespeople, and throughout this process, you have account managers at IT Cloud, and we can help you have these conversations, give you all the information that's needed to be able to do so. In a matter of 60 days, you want to reach out. Once you've gotten your plan, you've prioritized, you know who you want to talk to, reach out, give them a call, send emails, get them into webinars and engage and do one-on-one calls because you want to start engaging because it's going to take some time having these discussions with these customers. And in last 30 days, you want to close, right? So you want to take advantage of these incentives, these promos, and make sure that you've got all these things in place so that you can have that conversation and close deals and sell more than what you've done in the past. So some of the upsell motions you want to look at is, you know, premium security. So, move people from business basic and business standard to business premium SKUs or ME3 from to ME5. What you really want to do is, making sure that these partners have these customers have, the best, the best breed technology in terms of security and the opportunity to get these customers ready so that when they're ready to attach the Copilot licenses, everything is there. And there's some really nice promos that are available. I'm not sure if you guys are, I'm sorry, not you guys, if everybody on this call is privy to this. Um, there's no better time to be able to offer immense amount of deals from Microsoft. It's the first time. I've been talking about Office 365 or Microsoft 365 for almost 15 years now, 14 to be exact. And they've never lowered or have actually given price reductions on the licenses such as business premium. This is the very first time. And as of now, regardless of how many licenses you're purchasing for business premium, it is 15% off. One caveat: it has to be a customer that doesn't have business premium or any doesn't have any business premium subscriptions, but you're getting 15% off. ME3 and ME5, you've got the same thing, same deal, 15% off. And if you have 10 seats or more of Copilot, you also get another 15% off. So think about it this way. If you upgrade one of these customers to that, they actually can add more licenses, and this price is available throughout the year. So you're getting a year of 15% off of all these great technologies. So, and the fact that Copilot is now available in annual monthly, meaning that you don't have to fork that $500, upfront for a license. You can get 10 licenses for that price. And one of the things I always tell partners, don't just sell one Copilot license. I was speaking with a partner just before this, a little before lunch, and we were having a discussion. They've got a big partner and everything, a big customer with 300, I think it's a little more, closer to 400 seats. And you're saying, oh, there's somebody in marketing that wants a license. I says, well, one license is great. You want to try it out. First of all, you don't try it out. You actually have to commit to make sure that you get the best out of this software. Number one. Number two, You want to get more people involved. You want to have at least 5 licenses inside of that customer so that different people are leveraging and using this tool so that they can teach themselves how to do it. And furthermore, if you have multiple people there that actually have Copilot licenses, we can arrange, and you can talk to your account manager for that, for Microsoft to do a workshop, a Copilot workshop specifically for that customer. So very interesting opportunities here to upsell and attach Copilot and help your customers thrive. And the IURs, sorry, click and you see more things. If you weren't aware, as of a couple of weeks ago, Microsoft released internal use licenses for partners. Depending on your benefit package, you actually are awarded a few Copilot licenses. Some partners are extremely excited about that. They maybe just were using a few licenses, so more licenses available. So if you have a solution designation, you would be, specifically the modern work. I think, yeah, the modern work. Most of our partners have the modern work SMB designation, and you will get licenses that you can use for yourself and for your team at no extra charge. So here are a couple of scenarios that you want to look into. So if you're looking to move a customer from business basic business standard to business premium, you want to start, maybe look at Cloud Ascent, and we're going to talk a little bit about that, or Sales Advisor. So two different tools that help you understand where are the opportunities in your one. Cloud Ascent is a little larger than your customer base. Sales Advisor is for your current customers and CSP. So helping you understand when are the renewals and what are the upgrades available for each customer. So there's some machine learning, some AI, around that, and helping you know that these types of customers are looking at these technologies. So, I'm going to talk about, not AI, but regular intelligence. I've actually been tracking some of our partners that have the most success selling Copilot licenses, and it's pretty easy. If you're talking to accountants, if you're talking to lawyers, if you're talking to engineers, people that have to work, at producing content, if you're talking about people that are in business management, construction, so a lot of people that are buying a lot of Copilot licenses, 30, 40, 50 licenses, because they actually need to manage a lot of data. They do repetitive tasks. They're, creating documents. They need to sparse through information very quickly. So these are exceptional customers to be able to do so. Now, um, within those. So with the 90 days, you want to look at these dashboards and figure out exactly who are the customers you're going to be. Well, all the customers you're going to be targeting, obviously, but what are you going to be targeting these customers for, right? And then you engage. You might send emails, call them, do one-on-ones, or even do CSP briefings. If you're not familiar, it's something that you can still offer to your customers, is a presentation on the technology itself, and being able to show you can even build business cases with the business case builder. I encourage you to reach out to your account manager. He has some great tools. And last but not least, when you're closing within the last 30 days, you're trying to leverage the incentives to tell customers, hey, let's do this because the incentive is going to finish, and let's wrap this up. I'm not going to go over the ME3 to ME5 scenario. It's essentially the same thing. The tools are very similar. They might have different tools, but this is the same process. You plan, you engage, and then you try to close. So here's this demonstration of how you can leverage the Cloud Ascent through the Partner Center. You can go ahead, go to downloads, download a report, and then from that report, you can create a report and download Cloud Ascent and M365 Propensity, and then you can actually look at the data directly in there. If you don't want to go there to find your renewal information, well, you can go directly to the IT Cloud portal. or your portal, at IT Cloud. You can go to your customers, and then there's services by customers. There's a report there you can download, and you can see everybody's renewal date directly from the and download that document and directly from the IT Cloud portal. Do the same. Cloud Ascent will give you more data, more information. Very interesting, but if what you're trying to do is get the renewal information very fast, you can do it also directly from our portal. As you can see, you can pick the dates, you could do it month by month and have these discussions with customers knowing, hey, this is when the renewal happens in January, for instance. If you look at this Excel documents, you want to look at a few things. So you want to look at, TPIDs, different tenants, the subscriptions, the start date, the end date, the terms, so you can understand exactly how and when to interact with the customer. Again, you don't want to start this process, within 30 days of, the subscription end date. You want to be able to have a conversation that brings you to upsell and brings you other sales opportunities. I think it's a good time in the year also to have and sit down. Maybe there might be some projects you might need to implement some security, and it's a great moment to be able to have that conversation there. Annual to monthly price changes taking effect April 1st. Uh, Touched on it a little before, as we started and talked about this. Very important. Annual to monthly price are increasing April 1st, right, by 5%. So no changes, I said before, to annual and month-to-month pricing. So Microsoft is standardizing, the way that they do, their billing. Essentially, if you're paying up front, you're getting the absolute best deal. If you're committing for a year but you're paying monthly, you're getting a good deal, but not as sweet as it was before. And if you're paying month to month, you get flexibility, but it's going to be a lot more expensive. So, what are the products we're talking about? Just about every product, under the Microsoft 365 umbrella. As you can see, you've got O365, EMS, Windows 365, the Dynamics products, the Power Platform. So that's kind of the way they're going to be doing things going forward, right? So here are a few examples and scenarios on how you want to deal with different things. So, a few scenarios I'm going to talk about, maybe go to 3 or 4 so understand. If your current billing is annual monthly and the renewal date is before April 1st, so no changes, right? So if your customer needs to renew in February, well, he's going to renew and enjoy still a whole year without, having to, deal with the price increase. Now, if you have an annual monthly, you know, and it's before April 1st, and they want to buy new products, they have high propensity to upsell. You want to have this discussion and upsell before April 1st, right? Because if you do so, they get a year of the current pricing. If their renewal date is after April 1st, what you want to do, and they want new products, what you want to look into is upgrade before April 1st so they can enjoy the current pricing as well with a renewal date that's before and prior to April 1st. The other scenario is if your customer renews after April 1st and is highly price sensitive, you might want to move them to annual, so it's 5% cheaper than annual monthly. Again, if your customer is an annual after April 1st and they prioritize cash flow, they want to move to an annual monthly so that they can get, it's a little bit more expensive, but you know, they can control their cash flow better. And if you're in a monthly, there's no changes. You could either decide to move to annual monthly or annual, which is the best deal when you factor in all the price increases. Um, some of the things that you want to think of when you're having the discussions on the price increase is really understand what your customer situation is and what makes the most sense for them. You want to make sure that you renew the products when they need to be renewed, especially if they're If their billing date or their billing anniversary or term anniversary is coming up. So you want to do it as fast as possible. And there's an upsell opportunity. You certainly want to do it before April 1st because they're going to be able to enjoy the current pricing for another year. And try as much as possible to make this a positive conversation. There's enough negativity in the air so that we want to frame this as, hey, listen, it is what it is. Let's make the best and try to at least get another year off of the current pricing before annual monthly increases. If you have customers that are using Teams within the enterprise suites, and enterprise suites are the ME3s and the OE3s and the ME5s and the OE5s. So anything that's not small business that can go over, that can scale all the way up to thousands of licenses or 24 thousands, like I said, 24 thousands of licenses. So understand that existing customers, you want to make sure that they renew because they're grandfathered into a suite that includes Teams. Now, if you don't renew or if it's not on auto renew, understand that you will not be able to purchase the suite including Teams because Teams has been unbundled with the enterprise products. But if you've actually had this before and you renew automatically, you're able to continue purchasing it this way. If not, what's going to happen is that they're going to be paying the subscription price, which is a little bit cheaper than what it is without Teams than what it was before. But then if they want Teams, they need to get Teams Enterprise, and both of them are more expensive. And when you add Team Enterprise to, for instance, the ME3 SKU, it's going to be more expensive going forward than the current one, which includes Teams. Starting April 1st, you won't be able to purchase this product and you won't be able to renew it either if it wasn't renewed prior to it. And if you need more information, please reach out to your sales or your account manager. So you want to plan your renewal, as I mentioned before, 90 days before. You want to identify which customers that you want to have the conversations with. If you need a little bit of training, you need more information, reach out to us. Engage with your customers through emails, phone calls, one-on-ones, or even if it's just having webinars or presentations. And last but not least, you want to close strongly with promotions and take advantage of some of the incentives that are available. So here, full list of offers available, as you can see. So lots of things that you can use. Um, bunch of really nice promos. ME5 is in promo. ME3 promo 15% off. Business Premium promo 15% off. You also get another incentives on top of it. As a partner, if you sell Business Premium, you get another 10% on monthly billings. So that means that your some of the money that you get, some of the money back that you get from your partners, from Microsoft, you get higher. So that's very interesting. Higher, how can I say this? Sorry, I just missing my train of thoughts here. The incentives that you get from Microsoft, you get more if you sell Business Premium. And then you've got your Copilot promo. As I said, April 1st, it ends. So you want to attach 10 seats or more, you get 15% off. And you also have the ability to sell Copilot annual monthly. I see a lot of partners are not necessarily taking advantage of selling annual monthly, which makes it a lot easier for customers to embark onto buying more licenses. Right now, I see a lot of one licenses sold. And this is not great because if you're only selling one license, only one person gets the benefit from it. And they don't necessarily, the organization doesn't get the benefit and understand the power and how to leverage all these technologies. Again, when I was speaking with one of the partners today, he was telling me, hey, Steve, some customers don't really get it. they'll copy and paste stuff directly into Chat GPT, get the information back, and put it into their documents. I understand, don't get me wrong, Chat GPT, Gemini, all these things are great technologies. There's, DeepSeek and, just to name a few. That being said, when you think about Copilot, first of all, your data is protected. So they're not leveraging or using your customers' data to actually, feed the large language model. That's number one. Some customers might tell you they don't care about that. But number two, when you're using and leveraging Copilot, all the information is, what they're looking for or how they want to leverage and use this tool. It's grounded in their own data sitting inside of Microsoft 365, which means that when you're building things and you're asking it questions, it's looking at your documents and your conversations and things. So which makes this tool a lot more powerful than using something else. Here, all sorts of resources that are available. This webinar, such as all of our webinars, is going to be hosted on YouTube, and you're going to be able to find these documents and these resources directly into their partner portal. And just like to say thank you to everyone taking your time, taking their time to be able to listen to this. This is a first of a series of 3 webinars that I think that most of you registered in. And next week we're going to have we're going to have another presenter talking about business premium. So talk to you soon and have a lovely afternoon. If it's not the afternoon for you yet, have a great lunch soon, and talk to you soon.